Happy Thanksgiving, golfers. This is Pat Gorman, and I'm making this special video just for today because if you're like me and you really enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday, giving thanks and enjoying the wonderful food and all the goodies, and then sitting down to enjoy a lot of football games, especially the Packers. And so if you're doing that, and when the commercials come on, that's the time that you'll want to grab a golf club and do this drill that I'm going to show you. It's, for you golfers that are, if you're fighting that, you're not hitting the ball as far, chances are you're not compressing it very well or like you used to, or you're just leaking the ball off, it's slicing. This is the exercise you're going to want to do. So you want to grab a pitching wedge or a 56 degree. Those are the heaviest ones in the bag. And so simply, I've got an ideal table here. It's circular, golf swing circular, and it's just small enough. So what you do is you have one hand on the golf club. Make sure your forearm stays on the table. And it should be where the butt end is just right on the edge of the table. So you've got a little space there. And the key here is the shaft needs to stay in the same plane as the tabletop. So just real simply now, all we're going to do is rotate that golf club to the right as if we're taking our backswing. For you right-handers, forearm needs to stay on the tabletop. And there you go. We're going to see the club face up, the back of the hand is up. Or if you relate to the palm better, the palm would be down. Now we have to unhinge the wrist, rotate the club head back to square, and then keep it rotating. Again, keep the shaft on the plane. That can be hard at times. And you're going to see the club face is down, palm is up. Slicers, you're not doing this. So do this slowly. I had a neuroscientist tell me, your brain learns fast when you go slow. There we go. We're rotating it to the right. Club face is up. The back of the hand is up. We unhinge, rotating it back to square. Keep it going. Palm is up. Club face is down. And you can see the arm. It should not be sliding around the table. So I would say do a couple sets of 9, 10, 12. Now switch hands. Okay, now it's the right hand turn. Slowly, we're keeping that shaft on the tabletop plane. Club face is up, palm is up. Unhinge it, rotate it square, club face down, palm down. Again, doing a couple sets, 9, 10, 12, whatever you like, 15, 18, whatever it is. But you're going to feel how heavy this club gets when you go slowly and you're doing a couple sets of 10 or so. Now, if it's just too heavy, by all means, just turn the club around, hold it by the hosel, and you're doing the same thing. Forearm stays on that tabletop, shaft stays on that same plane. We want to get that feeling like the back of the hand is to the ceiling, the palm is down. Unhinge it, rotate it, palm up, back of the hand down. And I would say you do that every day. Couple sets each hand, get that forearm working, and you're going to feel some unfriendly fatigue in those forearms at first. That's okay. You just got to build that up. But after a couple, 3 weeks of doing this, you're going to feel like, I'm just getting a lot more speed here. Now, I want to emphasize a couple of things. I'm just showing you a drill isolating the hands and arms to build that. Just like if you're going into the weight room, you don't go in there and work every muscle group every day. You maybe work legs one day, shoulders, arms another day. So this is just an exercise for hands and arms. In the complete golf swing, it has to be blended with the body rotation. So I want to make sure that's clear. The other thing is when you're doing this, like I said, you're creating some speed. But if this is going so fast that I can't hit it solid, well, then the speed is really useless. It would be like a baseball pitcher. Yeah, I can throw it 120 miles an hour. I can't ever get it to the catcher, though. Well, that pitcher's never going to see the mound. So speed without the precision of hitting it solid is a waste. And that's what starts to separate okay players to good players to really good players. They can start doing both. They have speed and precision. And so it just takes practice to build that up. And so that's why I have the guitars here, because the same is true. What starts to separate musicians is the speed and the precision. And so I took this up about 5 years ago, just by accident. And, you're learning a musical instrument. It's just instinctual that you are going to go slow, because people are not going to want to hear it if you're going too fast for your skill level. And trust me, you don't want to hear that from me here. So now, real quickly, was listening to a great podcast by Andrew Huberman on neuroplasticity. And it gives us older people hope that, hey, we can still learn. And how it works is, from my understanding, is that when you are working on whatever skill you're trying to develop and get better at, whether it's music or sports, the neuroplasticity isn't going to stick right away as you're doing it. And he said that there's this gap effect. If you do it for a while, a certain time period, let's say a half hour, and then you change gears, you just stop, you go do something else, then the neuroplasticity kicks in and it's making connections. It's making them stronger. But what's really cool is at night when you're sleeping, the neuroplasticity amps up 10 to 20 times faster, making those connections. And that's from the practice that you did during that day. So that's why practicing correctly is very important. Going slow and your brain learns fast. So real quickly, so when I was learning the strings and the frets and all that, this pentatonic scale is something that I worked on. So, but I had to go slow. I had to kind of, and the thing is, you're trying to really blend that I'm picking the strings evenly. So I would go something like this. So it's easy to, at first, to pluck it too hard or pluck it too soft, start going too fast and too slow. And then, so part of what I do is every day when I'm working on this, I just pretend like my fingers are just going for a slow walk, and then they walk a little brisk, more brisk, and then they start to jog. So it'd be something like this. So now I'm a solid 25 handicap on this thing, but it's fun. It's fun learning a musical instrument. I mean, like I said, that was really by accident for me. But my goal is, when I play the guitar, I'm just trying to learn iconic riffs. And if I can play a riff and in the first 5-10 seconds, you're like, yeah, I know exactly what that song is, my work is done. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. And again, the emphasis is, if you're having those contact issues, you're losing speed, or you're slicing it, do this drill. Use those 3-4 minutes during the commercials here. Pick up a club and maybe knock out a couple of sets of 10. It's really going to pay off. Have a wonderful holiday. Any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave those below. If you like these videos, you know what to do. Until that next golf shot, enjoy the process of improving.